And also like to note that Mark Birchfield also contributed to the presentation today. And so unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to speak today though.
Thanks, Allie. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, I put Mark on there. He told me he was going to be watching for moral support. So appreciate Mark for the moral support. So hi, everyone. As Allie said, I'm Jonathan Kurtz. I'm a forecaster at the WFO office in Kansas City and on the Central Region DSS team. And today I'll be discussing a tool called Event Ready, which some of you may have some information about or may have heard of before, have some familiarity with. And then we recently rolled out the Event Ready documentation and program to the Central Region WCMs for their feedback. So while we're winding down outdoor event support season, training of partners continues year-round. Event Ready was developed to be a tool to help train core partners on what NWS resources are available to them to properly prepare and execute safety plans for outdoor events. Again, some of you may have heard of Event Ready or may be familiar with it. It was originally developed by DuPage County, Illinois Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management and adopted by WFO Chicago. Since some of the components of the original Event Ready were very specific to Chicago's partners and their CWA, the Central Region IDSS team updated Event Ready documentation and the Event Ready web pages so that it could be utilized across the rest of Central Region by the rest of us out here. We greatly appreciate the extensive work done by DuPage County and NWS Chicago in this project and in this initiative. Event Ready is focused on 4 primary areas. The first being planning for the event. Second is defining the weather liaison, and then the last 2 are before the event, assessing the weather risk, and during the event, following your action plan. Event Ready is comprised of the Event Ready website and weather liaison guidance documents that have been created by the DSS team at Central Region. And I'll go into more detail on each of those focus areas and components right now. But before that, I just want to state really quickly that Event Ready is not intended in any way, shape, or form to be a substitute for NWS expertise and our role in providing IDSS. The IDSS team took great care to ensure that the Event Ready program and components involves direct and indirect WFO interaction in providing IDSS and assistance to event safety decision makers. So the first of 4 primary focus areas of Event Ready is planning for the event. This section introduces the baseline questions your partners should consider in the planning stages of their event. And these 4 primary questions that I have up here on the slide may appear obvious to us meteorologists, but oftentimes they're overlooked by event planners. Using Event Ready, you can help guide your partners in successfully planning for the impacts of severe weather on their event. So the second aspect of Event Ready introduces the role of the weather liaison. It should be noted right away that the weather liaison is not a replacement for an NWS meteorologist. As many of you are probably aware, even an office like here in Kansas City, maybe your own office, I mean, here we only have about probably 5 or 6 events a year that really require us to be on site. Most of the events we support, we do right from the office. Again, the weather liaison is not a replacement for an NWS meteorologist. It's more to say that if for small to moderate sized events do not typically necessitate on-site NWS support. Therefore, the Event Ready introduces our core partners to the importance of identifying an individual working the event in a public safety capacity to be the designated weather liaison. This individual is responsible for being the NWS contact at the event and have the ability to activate the event's safety plan if needed. In many cases, the weather liaison is the emergency manager. In many cases, it's not. It depends on the CWA. It depends on your state, county, city authorities, who's actually in charge at an event. It may just be someone involved with the event itself. It's not always going to be the EM, but oftentimes it may be. The weather liaison guide and supporting appendices that we've created with the Event Ready documentation lays out the foundation for training individuals to work hand in hand with your office providing IDSS. So the third focus of Event Ready is providing a detailed guide of the tools available to the weather liaison between periods of briefings and contact with their local NWS office. This includes the introduction of the new Event Ready website tailored to each individual WFO and how to utilize its resources. This slide right here is a screenshot of the before the event page on the new Event Ready website. And the fourth and final focus of Event Ready is during the event, following your action plan. This section provides guidance and training your partners and the weather liaison on how to communicate with the NWS and monitor weather during the course of the event. This portion of Event Ready lays out the resources at their disposal and how to maintain contact and coordinate with NWS forecasters during impactful severe weather, especially when the weather leads to the weather liaison enacting their weather safety plan. So while Event Ready is new to most of Central Region offices, the offices in Chicago and Northern Indiana have already been utilizing Event Ready. And the IDSS team received a few testimonials from both Chicago and Northern Indiana WCMs. Chicago stated that we found that IDSS is much more effective when provided to partners who apply Event Ready practices. Working closely with our office before and during an event, they have already considered all the potential hazards. They have response plans in place based on various time and distance thresholds, and they are well briefed in the current weather situation. And when time is critical during an event, conversations between these partners and our office can focus directly on the challenging questions for which our expertise is most valuable. Northern Indiana shared that incorporating the weather liaison in combination with the Event Ready documentation from DuPage County created numerous opportunities to work collaboratively with our core partners. Using exercises, we have worked together for plan formulation, event preparation, and operational practice prior to event support being requested. Providing a baseline of consistent and known weather-related data has created well-informed weather liaisons, which ultimately decrease confusion and misinformation. The Central Region IDSS team has also received feedback from a few other WCMs, and we appreciate their input. It's being taken very seriously. As many of you know, the team is basically comprised of operational forecasters and folks from operational offices, so we take this very seriously when we put together Event Ready and all the documentation and the components. So we're taking all this account feedback. We're taking all the feedback through mid-January, and then we'll roll out the finalized version of Event Ready in February of the next calendar year. So with that, I'd be happy to take any questions or feedback on Event Ready. If you have any additional questions or feedback after the symposium, I definitely work with your WCM to make sure that they notify the IDSS team. And again, we'll take that all into consideration. We take it very seriously. And thank you for listening today.